Alright, what is going on, people of the internet, and welcome back to the episode of Ark Max Speed. And today we're going to be taking a look at the Moschops. Now, this was kind of out of the blue, and I never would have really thought to do this, but I'm actually really excited to see this, because the Moschops was only recently made rideable, and it was actually due to a glitch, I believe. The Ark devs tried to update the game, but they accidentally made it so that you could ride on Moschops. I don't believe that it was originally the case that you could dangle around their neck as you do now. I think it was that you could just stand on top of them, but the power of memes is too great in our society, and obviously the Ark devs took it and rolled with it, and now we can ride the Moschops. So all you gotta do is walk up to it and press E. No saddle required whatsoever. And I think that with our character right here with his dangly little legs, it's just absolutely perfect. I made all the sliders maxed out except for his legs. I just put them all to minimum, and I think that was the right decision today. So, Moschop, gee, I like it. I do. I wish it was a little more useful. I can't say too much about it. It's horrendously slow. It's got good carrying. It's tanky, but doesn't have a saddle or any armor. I don't see anybody making a big Moschops breeding program and being too proud of it, but it could happen. They are very good at harvesting things if you're not really wanting to go out and get a Therizinosaurus, because Theris, let's be honest, even on a relatively high rate server like a 10 times, they're still pretty difficult tames. So maybe you could find yourself a use for Moschops, and if you were ever interested in a max speed build for it, well, who could blame you? The nice thing about a Moschops is that they have two different types of leveling up. So first you level up its stats, then you have the secondary leveling up, which is where you're leveling up its harvesting. Of course, having more melee damage will still mean that you harvest better, but if you put all your points to movement speed, well, that's just fine, because you can still increase your raw prime meat harvesting, let's say, and it will still harvest more efficiently than if it was just standard Moschops that didn't really do anything. So you'll still get some value out of its harvesting even if you put it into max speed. So that's the good news. Now, it looks positively goofy once you put a max speed build on the Moschops. I really couldn't believe it would be so fast, but it comes up at about 240% movement speed, gets 1.4% per level, and we obviously did imprinting on it earlier to get it up to 140 base. And there's not a whole heck of a lot of early on in Ark, movement speed used to be really overpowered, and they did nerf it quite a bit, which is why we have to go back on 2.0 and review past creatures. I really did used to miss how goofy it made everything when you made a max speed back in the early days, but I think that started to make a bit of a resurgence here, because this Moschops doesn't look natural. This isn't normal. This isn't healthy. As you see here, there's its scroll wheel for all of its points, and you can level up anything. I choose to go with raw prime meat here. I feel like that's just the easiest one to do it if you're not really on a server where mutton's readily available, or you're not on Ragnarok or on Aberration. It's perfectly fine. It's all up to personal preference, but as you see here, just because we leveled up movement speed doesn't mean we can't take advantage of its amazing harvesting. Now, I didn't really have a frame of reference for how fast this Moschops was. I did kill that Moschops earlier to see how fast it was, and the walk speed is quite slow with or without the movement speed buff, so unfortunately, while we still have max movement speed, we can't quite keep up with it when walking, but sprinting will easily blow by it. Now, I got a little interested in seeing how fast this was, and I thought Alpha Chrono and just kind of ballparked it. Nuh-uh, that was off. Sorry, but yeah, you're not going to run an Alpha Chrono with a Moschops, even if it's max speed and fully imprinted. Unless you're near a body of water, you can kiss your poor little Moschops goodbye. I can't say too much more about it. I think it's entertaining. I may have caused a few more problems than I can handle with this Moschops by spawning in that Alpha Chrono, but I think it's certainly something to gawk at and stare for a little while, this Moschops. They certainly are quite surprising with their combat, though, I will say that much. Their health and their melee damage is quite exceptional. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Please leave any recommendations for future max speeds in the comments below, and the most upvoted ones will get the video next. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you next episode of Whatever We Make. Peace. Just as a little footnote at the end of the video here, I'm actually going to be trying my hand out at streaming this weekend. I've done it before in the past, but it's been years since I've tried it since. Me and a couple of friends are going to play some Heroes of the Storm. It's a fun little MOBA. It's not much like League of Legends or Dota. I've heard quite good things about it, and I really enjoy it. I've been playing it for the last year or so, and I feel pretty confident in my abilities. So it's going to be on Friday in the afternoon on North America. So if you would be so kind as to stop by, I'd really appreciate that. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I really hope to see you there. Peace.